In this video, we leave Rodney Bay St. Lucia for Marigot Bay and we check out the local scene. We talk about costs, customs, and the health procedures here in the Caribbean. And we share with you some of the repairs we've done to our dinghy to keep it going as we cruise on a budget here in the Caribbean. Last time, on Sailing Balachandra, we finally leave Grenada for St. Lucia and do our first overnight passage in several months.
If you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Dan.
And we're sailing Balachandra.
We're a couple of Canadians from Nova Scotia, Canada. We sailed all the way to the Caribbean and we're sailing around the Caribbean now. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, just go below this video, look for the big red subscribe button, press that button. So we got all of our custom stuff taken care of here in St. Lucia. We submitted the negative results we had on our PCR test and submitted our clearance to the Port Authority, and we are all good to go here. And we're going to hang out here in St. Lucia probably for about a week or so until we get a really good weather window, and we'll probably head for Antigua at that point. Rodney Bay is not too bad. There's a lot of resorts here. There's a few beaches. There's a big town with a mall and all that stuff, a couple grocery stores. So it's pretty convenient for cruisers if you're stocking up or if you're heading on. We're going to leave Rodney Bay today and sail down the coast a bit to Marigot Bay, which is just a little quaint anchorage. So it should be a good sail today. We got decent wind. We'll be behind the island for most of the day, so I'm not expecting anything crazy from the wind. The windward side of the island, they're calling for gusts up to 25 knots. Normally we wouldn't sail on that, but we're on the leeward side, so it should be fine. So I gotta say, our sail here was pretty nice. We only flew the jib the whole way. It was downwind sailing pretty much the whole day, and you know, you get that if you pay close attention to the weather and choose the right wind angle, like the right day with the right wind. And you know, sometimes it works out really nice. Sometimes it's completely different than what you think it's gonna be too, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, no, it was a great day. It's a good sail. All right, we've arrived in Marigot Bay and it's lovely here. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful day. We got palm trees and there's some beach resort stuff over there, and I guess there's a bar close to shore. Looks like there's some good snorkeling, some cliffs to see. It's really nice. We're excited to check it out. Yeah, Marigot Bay, St. Lucia. I'm just frying up some eggs here to make a couple breakfast wraps. We got 2 tortillas left in the bag, so the last 2 breakfast wraps in St. Lucia. So yeah, it should be good.
The last 2 wraps in all of St. Lucia?
That could be.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Well, it's the last 2 that we have on board anyway. So last piece of cheese. Not the last of the eggs, but we're getting there.
enjoying my interaction with the locals here so far. It's been really good. I love the banter. I love how open they are, and oh man, they're great negotiators. They're great salespeople. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that banter.
Yeah.
The beaches here are really pretty. Mine, like we said though, some of the resorts are open, so we're a little hesitant to walk on the beaches that are in front of resorts, because every beach here in St. Lucia is open to the public, even the ones that resorts are built on, and I think that's really neat. It's like you're a part of it all, you know, but you don't want to be a part of it, you know.
It's like going to a resort for free in some ways. There's maybe 3 really decent anchorages, and there's been some crime recently, making 1 or 2 of those anchorages maybe not so safe.
There's just hasn't been great reviews on the anchorages. Some say, oh, this anchorage, people aren't so friendly and kind to visitors, or this anchorage had a dinghy stolen. You know, just read your active captain reviews and stay on top of that.
The biggest one, I guess, would be Rodney Bay. That would also be the safest one, mainly because of the marina and customs officials being there and everything. But mainly what you would do there is you check in, there's a beach, you can hang out on the beach, you can go to the mall and go into town and everything, but you can do it all pretty quickly.
To us right now, I think we're just going to visit this anchorage and go back to Rodney Bay. And we're done. We're going to check out.
We'll start moving north again.
Start moving north, I think
our next stop will be Antigua and Barbuda, unless Martinique opens up. Right now it's closed off to only travelers that are in the European Union or in the UK. If it opens up to us, we may or may not go there. It depends on their COVID numbers and if we feel safe going there. And then what we'll have to do, if we want to leave there, do we have to do another 2-week quarantine somewhere else, and that affects our travels, so we may not want to go there for that reason. Because
if they become a part of the bubble, all good. We don't have to do 2 weeks quarantine, but anything outside of the bubble right now is it's just that much more challenging. I don't know if I can do 2 more weeks quarantine.
These are the questions that come up every time you talk to cruisers. If you talk to another boat, or just in passing, or at the bar, or you are invited to another boat, this is the main topic discussed.
I'm so tired of talking about it.
Where are you going? What does it cost?
I don't even want to hear you talking about it right now.
What's going to happen? I know. Like the normal things you would talk about as cruisers, like, you know, where's the good snorkel spots, or, you know, what's the best beach bar. We're not even talking about that anymore. Coming to St. Lucia, we had to pay for PCR tests. It was pretty expensive. We had to get them in Grenada, and in Grenada, a PCR test was 400 EC, which for us is $200 Canadian. We needed 2 tests.
So that's $400 Canadian. We had to take the test before arriving to St. Lucia, and we had 7 days to get here. What really got us, though, is that it took us 5 days to get the results back, and our window for entering into St. Lucia was getting smaller. Once we did arrive and we went to do our customs, they were like, what took you guys so long? You're here 5-6 days, you're cutting it close, like what took so long? And Dan's like, oh no, like it does look sketch, but honestly it's just because of the PCR test results. It's made us more anxious.
It's frustrating and it's expensive, and it leaves you in strange positions between countries that you really shouldn't be in, like explaining why it took you 7 days to do a 2-day passage or something like that.
But there's nothing normal about the situation that we're all in right now. So the few times that we did dinghy to shore, there was a customs official standing there waiting at the dinghy dock to look for these blue bracelets. There was a bit of confusion at first, because when we received the bracelets, they had asked us to hold on to them. We don't necessarily have to wear them. And then she's like, you can wear them, but it's up to you. We went to another anchorage, Marigot Bay, and we went to the dinghy dock, and another official approached us, and they were actually quite upset that we weren't wearing the bracelets, even though we had it in hand and showed it to them right away.
There's definitely some aggression there, and it makes us uncomfortable, and you think they're going to be taking you into their office. But surprisingly, St. Lucia is well up and running. There's resorts here that are full of people that aren't wearing COVID masks, which is kind of strange. Cruise ships, tour boats going in, it's like business as usual here. It makes us a little bit nervous.
I'm happy to see all the locals wearing masks. I've been wearing my mask, you know, unless we're sitting down at a table and having a drink. Other than that, we've been wearing our masks. when a local sees you without a mask, they'll remind you, you know, you should put that mask on, and that's great.
Yeah, it's really good with the cruise ships coming in and the flights landing and everything. They should be that stringent. It makes a lot of sense. The other thing that's going to be frustrating for us leaving here is paying for an additional PCR test. It's good that these countries are requiring a PCR test from us. I think that's a great thing, but the cost is very high. For us to get a PCR test done here is $100 US a person, so that's another $200 US just on PCR tests, and that has nothing to do with port entry or you know, any of the normal protocols of entering a new port.
We didn't have any of this budgeted. It's outside our budget, and it's just kind of making us pinch everything a little bit more. It's definitely takes a hit on the wallet, let's say that.
If you're coming to cruise in the Caribbean, make sure that you consider the realities of the new norm of COVID-19 here and what that's going to require, because you won't be able to move about without having all the correct tests, all the I's dotted and T's crossed as you're moving between these countries.
Yeah.
So as you can see, our dinghy hasn't been doing too well, especially right here where the transom meets the pontoon. It's really been a problem. We've had to glue this joint here several times on both sides, and continuously the force of the engine and just the age of the glue is not holding up, and the transom really just becomes loose at those spots and literally separates. So I've done kind of a quick jimmy rig with this by adding some bungees here that holds down this flap, and that seems to do the trick to hold the transom in place, at least, you know, as long as the bungees hold up in the saltwater environment. And I've got them wrapped around the handle over here on both sides, basically the same. Yeah, I mean, it works. It's getting us by, but it's one of the things about this dinghy I'm really not impressed with, the basic manufacturing. Also, if you look here where the paddles are attached, this attachment point has undergone a lot of wear and tear, and we don't really paddle all that much. It didn't last very long. It's just the salt water kind of ate it away. The original attachment point here is gone. I've created some temporary fixes here using some PVC pipe and some stainless steel wire. It's enough that it'll work to get you out of a tight spot if your engine dies, but it may only work once or twice, and then I've got to repair it. It's really just maybe bad design or bad materials in the original construction of the dinghy, so not really too impressed. Our dinghy is from Bombard. It's a Bombard Typhoon dinghy. So if you're dinghy shopping and you see any dinghies from Bombard for sale, check them out very closely. If it looks anything like ours, you will probably have the same issues over time. So it might be good to look for something stronger than this Typhoon.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this week's video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, leave us a comment below. We enjoy reading them.
That's right. And if you haven't checked out our Patreon page, it's always a good time to do so. Patreon's a place where you can give back if you like what we do. Thanks.
Bye. Wind generator?
Oh.
All right, we're just gonna talk off of each other. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to stop and redo things, okay?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. If you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Noelle.
And I'm Dan.
And we're sailing Balachandra. Go. And we're sailing Balachandra. We've starting to rain.
Let me see if it's still recording.
We're done. Done talking about it. Done. All right, what's next?